This is the warning. It finally makes sense to me why there are so many Viagra ads, so many erectile dysfunction ads on CNN during the day. I fully understand the full dimensions of the impotence problem watching Jake Tapper interview Stephen Miller.
I think we're missing the big point here. Do you believe, does anyone believe, that an unaccountable, career-tenured bureaucrat should be able to approve vast sums of money for the projects that they personally agree with, that no accountable employee in the federal government has reviewed?
I'm literally asking about Meals on Wheels. I mean, you know,
we are.
I don't know what you're talking
yes.
about.
There are no words other than, well, I'll wait till we get to the end.
If we hadn't stepped in, then billions more dollars, as an example, would have gone to left-wing NGOs that fund and resettle illegal aliens and are complicit, in many cases, in facilitating child trafficking.
Okay,
so this administration will never, ever apologize for defending the American taxpayer.
Obviously, nobody's in favor of child trafficking.
I mean, there's lots of people who support the human traffickers, the cartels, the human traffickers, and the customers who walk in across America to all the hidden whorehouses. They like the human traffickers. Why couldn't you ask this guy a question, Jake? Why did you let him filibuster? And the answer is the same one to why I won't see Jim Acosta on CNN anymore. Because there has been a great capitulation, a cowardice that has risen up and has subsumed much of the Washington political media, who now covers Washington looking up from bended knee. There are many stories playing out all across America, a nation of 340 million people, and scores of tens of millions of Americans are inconvenienced this morning. Donald Trump has shut down the government effectively. Now, if you want to appreciate incompetence, it's shutting down the government without a plan, without a purpose. Donald Trump, his team of aces, can't figure out how to do whatever it is they want to do without shutting down Medicaid and Meals on Wheels? Apparently not. But I gotta tell you, count me in the unsympathetic category for the inconveniences that tens of millions of Americans are about to experience. Because within their number is a multitude that did not vote. And there is a lesson now that they must learn. There's a difference between being inconvenienced and suffering. Because most Americans are soft, they confuse the two. But this is the consequences of voting for a disordered, addled maniac to be the commander-in-chief and allowing him to fill the government with confirmed positions from amongst a Star Wars creature cantina of ne'er-do-wells, misfits, abusers, drunks, criminals, and extremists. It will end badly, and therefore no one should be surprised that it has started badly. We are on a road down, and on that road down, people will be hurt. But this is what the nation has chosen in their infinite wisdom, with 49.9% of the American people saying to Donald Trump, after looking around and seeing the corruption and hearing the condescension, burn it down. And so the burning has begun. There is no story in the news today that is more putrid, more debased, disgraceful, pathetic, and weak-kneed than what has been served up by three reporters, journalists, functioning as court reporters, stenographers, taking dictation from some unnamed anonymous source in the Pentagon. A shadowy X-Files cigarette smoking man type character who offers dark insinuations against the Green Beret general who served the United States of America in uniformed service for 47 faithful years, rising to the most senior position, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Donald Trump has stripped the Pentagon of his portrait. The Washington Post, through an unnamed senior defense official who is not concerned with the defense of the nation, or the life and safety with the crew aboard a ballistic missile submarine somewhere out there in the oceans on patrol. No, instead, they are fixated on placating the commander-in-chief. Captain Queeg come to the White House in search for ever more of his strawberries. There are no words. The United States military is steeped in the concepts of duty and honor, and their commander-in-chief is a prince of pettiness. Let's understand that the goal of stripping General Milley's security detail is that he be assassinated on American soil by foreign agents from Iran, where he is under legitimate and serious death threat by. I don't care what party you belong to. Former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, four-star Army general, gets killed by Iranian agents on American soil. My friends, you understand that's an act of war. And MAGA has framed it in advance as an occasion to be celebrated, to raise the MAGA flag high and maybe give the hail and hello salute. General Milley, he committed a sin, all right. He wrote a resignation letter that went undelivered. In it, he called Donald Trump a fascist. And with regard to his right to share it in retirement, to warn the country, he had as much legitimate right to do so as Douglas MacArthur did when he said the words duty, honor, country. Donald Trump has repudiated those words. He has desecrated those words. He has put the general's life in danger. He has put his family's life in danger. Why? The Washington Post won't report why. They have omitted it. Trump administration is threatening that in retirement, the general shall be reduced in rank by 1 star to lieutenant general. There is no indignity that they will not try to bring upon the general. And where are General Milley's peers? Where is America's 4-star officers in retirement? It seems they've gone into hiding. We know they are on the defense contractor boards, and we know that they are in the hedge fund boardrooms, and we can hear their silence. They have abandoned General Milley to a scumbag pack who is hunting him down, who is defending the reputation, the dignity, and the history of the armed forces of the United States, who is standing up and saying, we will not allow the politicization of the United States Army. And the answer is nobody. General Milley has a problem. He made a big mistake. He should not have accepted Joe Biden's pardon because General Milley did nothing wrong. And the Washington Post article makes all sorts of insinuations, all sorts of veiled dark accusations, each one offered with a cloak of anonymity, with not even a hint of what it is that General Milley did, except for there will be an inspector general and a witch hunt to find something. And the reason for that is Donald Trump has the power to do it. And he's angry that he faced consequences, not for things that were made up out of whole cloth and thin air, but his misconduct, his criminal conduct. And so now that he has power, 1,600 thugs have been let loose. He has formed his militia. He has shut down the government. He has cut off foreign aid. He has stoked conflict with Jordan, with Egypt, with Canada, with Mexico, with Colombia, with Denmark, with Panama. And it is 1 week in, 1 week. And he is hunting, not the cartels, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a Green Beret named Mark Milley. Now, General Milley is a specialist in irregular warfare. Politics is a form of warfare. He's fighting a new type of war. And every weapon, his honor, his decency, his dignity, his truthfulness, his patriotism, is to be weaponized against him by the most loathsome of men. I have a piece of advice for General Milley, who I respect a great deal. Request immediately, General, a recall to active duty. Face court-martial. Stand up and face it. Show Donald Trump that the military justice system is not his sandbox. The nation will have your back, and so will the officers on that court-martial. Sometimes, when you are outmatched, outnumbered, facing a superior force, you have to bring the tiger to the cave. And in this instance, what that means is putting Donald Trump on trial. Give him what he wants without fear. And please God, General, do not bend the knee. There has been too much of that already. General Milley is a patriot and an American hero. Not because he's some action figure, but he lived a life of service for 50 years. General Milley deserves better. The United States Army deserves better, but they're not going to get it. So they better get ready to fight. There will be an opposition to Donald Trump because there must be, because what he's doing portends what's happening next. And what's happening next, or after that, or after that, or after that, is going to get everybody's attention. And when it does, it will be time to start marching and protesting and raising the flag high and saying the most powerful word in the English language that has not been said nearly enough, particularly when it comes to Donald Trump. No, this is The Warning.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.